Hello friends, welcome to today's GCC class, and in this class we will see the grid security infrastructure, which is otherwise called as GSI, that will come under 5th unit security. And in this class we will learn the security services of GSI functional layers, transport level security, message level security. And in part 2 we will see the authentication and delegation of GSI and trust delegation. These two topics will cover under part 2. First, let us see the need for grid security infrastructure. The grid network is constructed to provide services to consumers. Here, all the grid networks are constructed with dynamic, inter-domain, distributed computing as well as data collaborations. By using all these things only, we are constructing any grid network. Here, the very big problem is the lack of security or trust between different services. So this is a very big challenge of any grid network. Hence, the grid requires a security infrastructure with the following properties. What are the properties? First one is easy to use. The network should be easy to use. And second one is it conforms with the virtual organization's security. The security of virtual organizations. And third one, it should provide appropriate authentication and encryption of all interactions. That is, the services will be interacted between the consumers and provider, and during that communication we need to provide authentication and encryption of end-to-end transactions. Next, the security services of GSI. The GSI supports for message protection, authentication and delegation, and then authorization. Here, the GSI enables secure authentication and communication over a open network and permits mutual authentication across and among distributed sites with single sign-on capability. Okay, and it provides appropriate authentication and encryption of all interactions. And next we will see the GSI functional layers, that is grid security infrastructure's functional layers. So in the functional layer we are having message level and transport level layers. So this is the message level and transport level. Two levels are there and four distinct functions. This layer has four distinct functions. The functions are message protection, authentication, delegation and authorization. So this is message protection, authentication, delegation and authorization. And the message format, that should be always SOAP format. Whether it is message level security or transport level security, we are having only SOAP format. And next one is message protection. For protecting message, we required WS security. WS security means web service security. WS secure conversation as well as TLS. TLS means transport level security. So these three things are important for message protection. What are they? WS security, WS secure conversation and transport level security. And the second one is authentication. For authentication, it requires IEEE X.509 end entity certificate, username or password, that is username and password. So these two things are very important. Here also we are having X.509 end entity certificate. So X.509 end entity certificate and username and password are required for authentication. And next one is delegation. For providing delegation, it requires X.509 proxy certificates. Okay, 509 proxy certificate required for delegation. And the last one is authorization. For authorization, it requires SAML. SAML means Security Assertion Markup Language. Security Assertion Markup Language and grid map file. These two things are important for providing authorization. So here also we are having grid map file, the same SAML and grid map file. SAML means Security Assertion Markup Language. So for message protection mechanism in combination with SOAP, the TLS, that is transport level security or web security, and web secure conversation at message level are used. And second one is authentication credentials. For authentication credentials, the X.509 end entity certificates or username and password are used. And the third one is for delegation. X.509 proxy certificate and web security trust are used. Here, the authorization framework which allows a variety of authorization schemes. That includes, first one is a grid map file ACL. ACL means access control list. The ACL defines by services, custom authorization handler, access to an authorization service via the security assertion markup language, that is SAML protocol. So this is authorization framework, and associated security tools provided for the storage of X.509 credentials and mapping between GSI and other authentication mechanisms and maintenance of information used for authorization. So these three are associated security tools provided for this authorization framework. The next one is transport level security. It is otherwise called as TLS, which requires SOAP message. SOAP message means simple object access protocol. SOAP message conveyed over a network connections. And TLS provides for both integrity protection as well as privacy via encryption. And transport level security is normally used in conjunction with X.509 credentials for authentication, and sometimes it is not required for this authentication, which are referred to as anonymous transport level security. Here the authentication may be done by username and password in a SOAP message. The next one is message level security. Here the WS security, that is Web Service Security Standard Framework, for applying security to individual SOAP messages. That is, we are going to provide security for all SOAP messages. SOAP means Simple Object Access Protocol. And the next one is WS Secure Conversation. That is a proposed standard to allow initial exchange of messages to establish a security context, and it can be used to protect subsequent messages, which requires less computational overhead. The grid security infrastructure uses this mechanism to provide security on per message basis. That is, it will provide security for all and individual messages. And this GSI authentication allows both X.509 public key credentials as well as the combination of username and password for the authentication. With the username and password, only the Web Service Security Standard can be used for authentication. That is, a receiver can verify the identity for, that is, identity of communication initiator. And the grid security infrastructure allows three additional protection mechanisms. First one is integrity protection, and second one is encryption, and third one is replay preventions. The first one is integrity protections. Here, a receiver can verify that the messages were not altered and transit from the sender. And second one is encryption, by which the messages can be protected to provide confidentiality. And third one is replay preventions, by which a receiver can verify that it has not received the same message previously. These protections are provided between the WS security as well as WS secure conversation. It applies the key associated with the sender as well as the receiver's credentials, that is X.509 credentials, and these X.509 credentials are used to establish a session key that is used to provide message protections. Up to this we have seen the grid security infrastructure first part. In this first part we have seen the security services of GSI, GSI functional layers, and in this we have seen the transport level security and message level security. In the next part we will see the authentication and delegation of GSI and trust delegation. These two things we will see in the next class. For more information, please go through the textbook. Thank you.